Okay.
Maybe I was wearing the diaper, but she was in the onesie.
Oh. Oh.
Potato. Okay.
Exactly.
Potato.
So with the tomato,
Tomato, you mean? Yeah.
tomato.
Sure.
And she's looking at me and she wants to know if I'm on social media or any of that. And I'm just completely apoplectic about that. And I don't move because I'm appalled that someone's this rude. And then she physically shoves me out of the way.
Whoa.
Now you're turned on. Go on.
Now you're turned on.
There was something on. So I was not looking for her. And about 27 minutes later, I see a drunken mess hobbling around, mascara and a onesie.
Oh.
Same onesie.
Same
mascara.
onesie. And I walk up to her and I kind of grab her arm. And
Now you guys are wrestling.
yeah. And she's with all of her friends. And they actually thought it was going to come to fisticuffs.
Oh, wow.
And we got this huge thing. And I'm not going to go into the details of what happened because that may be offensive to certain people watching this, so don't worry. We can do that.
That's the goal. Go on.
What? What's the gold?
The details of what happened, right?
yeah,
The
the
details.
details, yeah, the
So she wanted to
details.
know if I was on social media or doing any of that.
Yeah.
And I let her know, no, that's for 7-year-old Japanese girls. Or Asians, whatever it was. It'll be a little more.
Whatever have you. Sure.
Exactly. And then it proceeded to get into this escalated fight for 43 minutes straight.
43 minutes.
I've got a weird thing for numbers.
I was going to say, did you
Wow.
Autism, Asperger's, ADHD, OCD.
check the time,
You got
then get into the
all-
argument, check the time at the...
He checked all the boxes.
Good.
And so for 43 minutes straight, we're in this massive fight. Her friends think we're going to throw down. For her and I, it's we're flirting.
Game on.
Yeah.
Aw,
And-
that's so cute.
And so,
Love here.
of course, I find out from single. And so it's time for my friend and I to leave. And you're single. And she looks at me, that surprises you? And I let her know, is it okay for me to get your business? And she looks at me and lets me know for you to ring me on the morrow.
Yeah.
So that,
Oh, look at you. We have pictures of you up. Look how cute this is.
yeah.
You guys are so cute. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
So she, so that day was it. And you can kind of track our movements. Then up at Malibu Wines, which is up Mulholland on that side.
Yeah.
Then down in the valley
Wait,
for
this is
some
the first date?
No, my friend and I. And this was just the path we did, and then we ended up in Hollywood, and then downtown, and then back home. I ended up losing everything that day, but my phone and her business card.
Oh, that's so
it.
cute.
All I had. So at 6:01 in the morning, I give her a ring.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a patient person.
Neither.
And we went on a date that
But
night.
it is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. And one must follow through on their
I
promises.
will never
and
say
commitments.
tomorrow again after this interview. Okay, go on.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
there's plenty. And Andy's got a touch of my Ashanese, the things that I do when I send to my friends.
Ashanese.
It's my own personal vernacular.
Yeah,
You'll appreciate it.
Yeah, we're loving
It's
it.
phonetically broken down by multiple languages at the same time parentally.
How many?
A lot.
Okay.
About 6, 7, 20, infinitely increasing.
Nice.
Positively amazing. Okay.
Brain always expands.
Yeah.
Meet her at this restaurant, and I meet her outside. And she's a very independent, strong woman. She don't want me to pick her up. And I bring all these flowers. I bring this massive bouquet of flowers. Now, typically when I was on dates, I have to let people know that I am not normal. Something's not right in the head. And if you want to take me on, then you've got to have issues of your own.
I love
And so
that.
my typical first date, when I would meet somebody, I'd bring them, logically, X-Lax, cooked sausages,
Everyone?
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. And there were a few more things that were thrown in there.
Okay.
Just for important reasons.
It's like a JIC
Well,
kind of
I don't want to be completely,
Okay.
and I don't want to be, that guy who does the same thing every time. So the gifts always change a little bit.
Okay.
So fun.
Which strikes my fancy. Oh, and always Summer's Eve.
Summer's Eve.
Summer's
Nice.
Eve.
I love gifts. But I mean,
Summer's
it's
Eve.
fun. It's fun. It's different. And
Risky.
It's risky, but it's fun
Risky.
and it's different. I like that. I like
Summer's
it.
out there? Like, okay.
Yes, but it's fun.
And so
We went there.
He said Summer's Eve is tasty. Is that another one of your zesty
there.
tastes palate?
well, one must have an
Cleansing.
expanding palate.
Sure.
If you're not open to trying
Sure.
palpable things on all levels, and there's
Pepper
no point in
spray,
trying it.
Summer's Eve, throw it in the palate.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. But the one flavor.
I was gonna ask if there's like a specific
Nice.
flavor we like.
Bumblebee tuna.
Okay, so you brought her gifts.
So I bring this massive bouquet of flowers, and I don't believe in the cliche roses and all that. I always get very exotic flowers.
Cool.
And inadvertently, I got her one of her favorite flowers.
What?
I didn't know I did, and this massive and the thing was bigger than she was.
This is
And
on the first.
By the way, I let them know it's your birthday inside. We sit down, and the flowers get their own table. They're that big.
Oh, that's so cute.
And so the whoever it was, walk her to the car. From that date, we were together for 143 days straight.
Wow.
And then she went to Thailand. She invited me. I couldn't do it. That little silly thing work.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Whatever that.
Clarified as love at first bitch slap.
Name of a book.
What's the name of the book?
No, I want to write it.
Yeah, the new one.
The new
We're
one.
just making right
Bitch
now.
slap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love is a bitch slap? I
No,
love
love
that.
at first bitch
Oh,
slap.
love at first
Yeah.
bitch slap. Let's make it into a movie.
Well, because she slapped him. Yeah.
I kind of want to make it into a movie.
You could knock yourself
it
out.
Right.
We're in the right place.
You were saying?
So, yeah. So she loved more because she came back 2 days early from the trip to vote.
That's so cute.
And that just. And we're in a blue state, so it's not as if it. That
Principal,
made me,
right.
made me so proud of her. And so I took her to vote at a place around the corner.
You took her. That's cute.
And she has a special and by the way, my wife is impossibly beautiful. She's
I
very
see this by the pictures. I see this wedding photo that we'll get to in a minute. But
yeah,
I'm like-
she's brilliant. She's Elegiac.
Where's that venue? Where are you guys?
That is the Ruinart Chalk Caves in Harems.
I was gonna say it doesn't seem like an establishment. You guys are like
This
a
is
freaking
so
cave.
You know Ruinart the Champagne?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We were the first wedding in 3,000 to build the Roman Empire.
Wow.
That's her coming down the steps.
That's amazing.
Where hole in all of Europe. Where we got married, which is 76 feet in front of it, is the second deepest hole, right where we're standing.
That's incredible.
And then that's
You
her,
guys are so. Oh my god. I
and that's her stepfather, by the way, who learned Hebrew to officiate our wedding.
That's
awesome.
adorable.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
And so we had this spectacular, again, first wedding in 3,000 years.
Wow.
Amazing. And then the whole
great.
night was spectacular.
Oh.
And as if that wasn't enough, we had an LA wedding.
What?
Cool.
How is it even? That's awesome.
Cool.
We had, I think we invited about 200 people to that one. This one was about 62, because I made it impossible to get there.
I was gonna say it's in a cave.
Yeah,
How
and we're
many
paying
people
for
can
it. It was the day before Bastille Day. And men were all staying there. And the Tour de France started there. And so we have a picture of my wife on a light pole the day before, and she's taking pictures with them. So it was a surreal, wonderful experience.
But all
Intentionally.
Oh, okay.
And it was wonderful because it was a destination.
right.
So we set up all
Yeah.
But so they made up. We crashed the LA wedding.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
so
like
fun.
It was kind of fantastic, and pictures will be up there too. All of our friends, very good people, but
yeah.
caviar, but it's all in the background from the photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were the two weddings. And I count the second one because I tricked her into the Beverly Hills Court. I just shamed her into it, and we got our license there.
Amazing.
An ex of mine's mother, was not so normal in the head, came up. Oh my God! You know the police. This is my wife. You have to move. In the middle of something right now.
Oh no. That
Comedy.
is comedy gold.
Pure comedy.
That is comedy gold.
Who came up with this idea?
For the Ruiner?
Yeah.
She did it. I mean, we did, but she did.
That's
Wow.
Yeah, it was beyond spectacular. I mean,
You guys look so cute and so happy. When was
Yeah.
this?
5 or 6 years. That's one thing I'm bad with.
Your
Years.
numbers, dude.
but years. That's
got
the
it,
problem
got
I
it,
have.
got it.
Okay.
Because I just
What's
don't. It's not relevant in my world.
I was going to
Can't
say,
hear
Yeah.
you're not finding a relevance or a reference point.
No.
Right. Politics? Why don't you go?
Part-time.
Well, so
politics?
that was the intention. I was groomed to be a politician.
Amazing.
And then my education, I went to the school that turns out all the world leaders. Or have my own late night variety show.
I love political philosophy.
Yeah, right here. We'll have to do a weekly night show. We did it. We actually did a night show the other day, which was fun. It was Good Night Live.
It was.
It was a little more risky. It was riskier. It was a riskier
Risque.
show. Yeah, it was risque.
Was it risque?
Not really. I mean, kind of. Yeah. We were playing the best friends game.
Well, she's from Colorado Springs.
Okay. Luckily, not in the same divisions.
Well, that was it. That was Christmas Day, which was spectacular because
Amazing.
both teams were out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so, me being your viewers,
Please.
Jews love. We have 8 nights where we get socks, essentially.
Right.
So don't be jealous.
Right.
We have candles instead of lights, and you have a plethora of music. Jews love lights and holiday music.
Yeah.
It's our favorite thing. So
love Jews.
Christmas Day, that was.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I was wearing as well, just to
nice.
match it.
Nice.
great.
Now, do you have a Hanukkah bush or do you do a Christmas tree?
Well, she's my Hanukkah bush.
Oh.
Sorry.
I knew it. When you
That
said
was
it,
too
I was
easy.
like, you set him up.
I know.
Honestly,
And I couldn't
it
resist.
wasn't as bad as I anticipated.
Could have been a little more vulgar, but again,
No, I appreciate it.
PG rating.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
I'm excited for it. Yep.
So the thing is that's great is she went down to San Diego to see some friends, and she had bought. I built her a home gym. In the living room, and she came in and she had no idea that I have colitis, of course. I mean, with all the allergies, why wouldn't you?
Right, of course.
And she comes in and she's just ripping me a new one. Why didn't you? You lazy blink, blank, blank. You didn't do anything. Because I put the box. And
Wow.
she's running around the house.
Patience is well underrated.
Yes. And it was delicious. I'm still.
Devious patience? Look at the face.
Oh, it's fantastic.
He goes
Fantastic.
snowboarding. Oh, is it skiing? Oh, I wasn't sure if that was snowboarding.
No, we are not snowboarders.
Oh, yeah, he's a snowboarder.
Avid.
Yeah, she was actually in the Junior Olympics for track and field, and I was.
Olympian for track and field in there last
yeah.
week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where were we?
The gym and yelling
The
at
gym.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
Devious patience.
And
Yes.
she's just in a kind of a rage, and she didn't do this, but it was one of the things where I thought she was going to kick our pups. Just sitting here, and she's home for about 40. And then I let her know, hey, can you get me something from the office?
Again, the 48.
It's
You won the numbers.
time, but
impressive.
years.
Years.
Years,
Right.
I forget entirely.
But minutes
Okay.
that be on the dot.
I like that.
And days.
Yeah.
And distances, but that's neither here nor there. So, devious patience. I sitting on the angel's shoulder, and I just was eating it as she opened it up because, oh, F me. Because I left the boxes. I resealed the boxes, left them all in the living room.
Okay.
So she thought I put TVs in, the bike, weights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
out.
So she has these things when she comes with her trips and she comes back and she wants to get mad at me. So one of them was, and I don't believe in Christmas trees because I'm just lazy.
Yeah.
But she was gone, and I thought, a good surprise for her.
Yeah.
I'm going to get her the largest Hanukkah bush I could possibly find.
Okay.
So and I let him know what makes me a tree. Showed me a tree. And so I bought it back. And of course, my neighbor across the street, who's Jewish, helps me carry it in. Now, Jews and manual labor, it's kind of a comedy in of itself. So I think we lost actual part of the tree, part of some foreskin, and maybe a random limb trying to get this thing in there.
Foreskin.
Part of.
Best interview. Yeah. Gone. Sorry.
Oh, we're not even done yet. Andy, let me know. We're supposed to be here for what, 25 hours?
Nice. I love
Yeah.
it.
I don't sleep, so
Right.
and I can entertain. can
So
make
you
it
lost your
peripatetic.
foreskin. Is the tree in?
Floor to ceiling, 20 feet.
Wow.
And it doesn't even fit. It's
Wow,
bending.
So cool.
Oh, that's cool. I don't know when it does that. Yeah.
And so she comes in, and again, she's mad about something. And she misses the tree entirely. And I'm just sitting in the kitchen. I'm waiting. Okay, this will be good.
Yeah.
And then I hear, holy poopers.
Yeah.
Aww.
So she got her Hanukkah bush. It was massive. It was decorated with,
You decorated it?
well, yeah, Jewish ornaments, obviously.
Yeah.
Star Wars ornaments, obviously.
Right.
Obviously.
Store in WeHo that this business is they parlay adult oriented toys.
Fun.
And so I thought, what else would be good on a Christmas tree? So I had a bunch of that
100%.
stuff hanging as well. For
So cute.
So we had friends who came over, and they're looking at it. Is
The
that?
friends were, got it.
And I let them know, is that what I think it is?
Yeah,
and I let
it
them know, oh, no, it's batteries. You can turn it on.
Phallic ornaments.
Hilarious.
So you've got Star Wars, you've got Christmas, you've got Jewish. I think I put something in there for Christmas.
We're all
And then we have hanging, which could be a consolation prize to take home once the tree is done.
I was gonna say,
There you go.
There you go.
can't get crazy.
You can. So that was that's those rages that she gets in the devious patience.
It's great.
I
That's
love
great.
That.
Because rather than rubbing someone's face in it, you just get to be smug.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I love that.
Smug
This is
way better.
delicious.
Yes.
More, please.
All it takes is a little smirk, maybe a little look.
Yeah.
You're done.
Done.
Fantastic.
Oh man,
I can see why she married you. Little time.
So I inadvertently have a very random education, as I pointed out to
What
you.
are your passions?
My passions: war, politics, patriotism, and music.
War politics.
And music.
war politics.
War politics.
Oh, war
War, politics,
Okay. War.
patriotism, and music. And the reason I throw patriotism in there is when I was about 15, I went to DC for some UC-DC. I just remember being struck by how I was in the Library of Congress, I was in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And it just moved me so much that bureaucratic red tape, but they still love the country so much, and it's everywhere. And it wasn't for any other intention, just for them, and they loved it. And so that really just made me beyond giddy. I ended up being congressional page, and I worked for they were the Government Affairs Committee. They were huge congressmen, tenured. They'd be kind of up there with Adam Schiff right now.
Okay.
If you're looking at where they were, so they were fantastic, and so congressional page. So I was working with houses of Congress.
Wow.
And so that was fantastic. And by the way, where the pages live is an old mortuary.
What were you doing working in both?
Oh, because you can go back and forth between the
Can you?
Senate and the Congress. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Well, because you're working two congressmen,
Yes.
and then they have their kind of go back and forth, correspond, and do
Use
the
the metro
exchange.
thing underneath.
Yes.
That's where I met John Glenn with my mom and my
so cool.
brother. And my mom was like, guys, this is John Glenn. We were super little. And three times.
Yeah,
Moon.
And my brother was this when he was like a little guy, and then he ultimately went back, which I thought was I always attributed to my brother Andrew for being a little prick that he was.
That's
for
hilarious.
John Glenn to go back to space, but I thought that was so cool. We would go to DC. I mean, I lived in
Maybe your
Silver Spring,
brother
Maryland.
failed to being an astronaut.
He wanted to be an astronaut, but he was afraid of flying.
Empire, then I
Totally
assume.
out. Totally out for
Kind of
both.
sucks for him.
Just want to get back on topic for
yeah,
one
we'll go
second.
back. Sorry.
Patriotism.
It means believing in our government, believing in the Constitution. And so, for instance, again, I'll harken with the education so you understand where the patriotism comes into this. I went to this school. First of all, it was the farthest school from my family. And the only reason I chose it was if I grew up in this city, I'd always be so-and-so's son.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, and it was named after me for something I had done. And when they introduced me, the word named after me, they let everyone know this is so and so's son. and there was just something that cracked in my body.
Yeah, it was like, gotta get out of this.
Yeah, it was an old lady exorcism.
Yeah.
So I went home and I was looking at all the schools I got into, and farthest one geographically, TC.
Okay.
So the name of the school is the Elliott School of International Affairs. It's a consortium of Georgetown, George Washington, and Johns Hopkins.
So cool.
And then you have to be abroad.
Okay.
So it's a long program. It's a very elite program. They take very few people.
How long was it?
It's supposed to be 6 years, I believe. We did it, well, because there were only 6 of us that basically finished out of 53, I think.
Whoa.
6 finished out of 53.
Yeah.
Why is
It's
that?
because you get burned out.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you've got
Okay.
3 different campuses,
Right.
and then very intense.
Yeah,
Right.
sounds it.
And most of us had to go through, which is burn people out as well. So I mean, when I was there, I was interning at the World Bank and the IMF, and that was horrible. And I was brought up on ethnic charges for being ignorant of my heritage, which is amusing because I was this account as an intern from $25 million to Africa, to the Ivory Coast.
Okay.
They never did anything with it. It was just sitting in a checking account.
Of course it is.
Not even aggregating anything, and that was just mind-blowing to me. All they want to know is who donated it, not what we should do with it.
Right.
So I delivered the report to the guy who requested it.
Yeah.
And he comes at me in Spanish, and I answer this way.
Yeah.
And again, Spanish, I answer this way.
Yeah.
And again, Spanish, answer this way.
Yeah.
And he wants, no, I know it, but I'm a Jew.
Yes.
And he looks at me, no, I'm Latino, I know fellow Latinos. Your complexion, your hair, you're Latino.
Wow.
And I just, okay, cool. Have a good one, man.
Wow.
And I walked out and I came back
Yeah.
the next day, and on my desk, I was brought up on charges for being ignorant of my cultural heritage.
Oh my gosh.
Of your non-existent
Of my non-existent
Latino
cultural heritage.
cultural
That's
heritage.
hilarious.
Oh, it was spectacular. I have it framed somewhere.
That's amazing. Back to the patriotism.
So the patriotism, so the Elliott, it's all the international schools. So I've got 4 double degrees in international politics, international economics, international politics.
4 double degrees?
Yeah, because the university,
Got
the
it,
last
got it,
university,
got it, got it.
Sorbonne.
Okay, wow.
So double majors in,
You really don't sleep.
no, not at all.
Wow.
International affairs, international economics, or politics. Finished at the Sorbonne. Department, CIA, that kind of stuff. And I realized that I could actually do more good because my dad was so intent on me getting to the CIA because they were recruiting me left and right.
Wow.
And then, Dad, if I did that, you'd get something that I was dead and I would never see my family again because I would not be here.
Yeah.
And you might still be alive working
Yeah,
with the
well,
CIA.
I would be,
Yeah.
but they would never see me again.
Correct.
And that would be the reason for me not pursuing that path.
Right.
But I decided at that point that I can do more good. Seeing the bureaucratic red tape, and I realized so I was given, and this is humility actually. I was born with a plethora of gifts that just keep exponentially increasing.
That's awesome.
Great.
And I was put here to do something to make the world a better place. That much
that.
I know. How and where and when, I do it whenever I can. But it's these gifts that I have, my ability to kind of move in any circle, be anybody, connect on every level, because I do believe that there is a bad experience.
Absolutely.
It's something you have to learn from, but you do a takeaway, and you learn what you don't want to do.
Did you always have that mindset?
Oh, absolutely.
Ever since you were a little guy?
Oh my God.
From your parents or just?
Innately, my grandparents.
Awesome. What about your grandfather that had made you have this experience?
He died in 1995.
Okay.
Just so you understand. People still come up to me to this day, letting me know how he changed their life.
Wow.
So he's been dead since 1995.
And please let me know about your grandfather because I don't know.
So he was the ultimate Renaissance man. Lawyer, businessman, real estate magnate, secret colonel in the Hazarat, which is the would have fishing trips, and my mother would have see his friends come at 3 a.m. to the house, and he was sending guns to Israel.
Oh wow.
And so he became an honorary colonel. He was also an ambassador for a small stint to either Belgium or Luxembourg. I mean, there's not anything this man didn't do.
Wow.
And he was beyond brilliant and the kindest soul you've ever met in your
Wow.
entire life. But he's the toughest mother ever. He was impressive.
Usually they are. The kinder they are, the tougher. That's a very good heart.
Well, he
little
let me
pup.
know after this he wants to meet me behind the schoolyard at 316.
Really? Is that why
and
you
he's gonna
said
take my
that?
lunch money.
Yeah, big heart, tough outer shell. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he was, and he was also an artist, a sculptor. And my grandmother was a spectacular artist whose pantheon of art expanded, 50, 60 years, 70 years. Either.
Oh, wow, you get it from her.
Yeah. 4:00 in the afternoon, so it was a different situation.
Yeah, different setup.
But we always knew, and all my friends knew, when we get home after having a salubrious night of libations, we'd get on the phone and we'd drunk dial her. And she'd be in her studio and she'd be painting, blasting music, and she was just so whimsical. And brilliant, by the way, beyond brilliant, both were. And she saw the beauty in everything. I got dispatched to get my grandmother. Yeah, where are you? And I found her in the shower with a sketchbook. And she was sketching the veins of the travertine in the marble she's found fascinating.
Wow.
In depth. Huge. Beyond fascinating people. Incredible. And so when I could, I would fly back every 2 weeks to have dinner with my grandmother, and then fly back out wherever I was. Yeah, and it was just one of these things. And one of my going away parties, it was at this place in Hollywood, and I think my friends put together, it was about 1,500 people came to this thing, and the star was my grandmother. 16-layer mink fur coat that's all these different colors.
Love her.
Yeah.
That's
Love
awesome.
her.
Yeah, and my friends all fell in love with her.
Of course.
I mean, it was...
How do you not?
No, and she's stunning.
Sure.
So,
We only have a couple minutes with the show, but I hope...
Absolutely.
Because we're so fascinated. I want to plug you away.
Okay.
I got Andy gave me a 2 with his hands. I'm not coming up with this. If I would, I wouldn't be doing this. Tell people how they can connect with you and find more. And so fun.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Well,
Or tomorrow. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
you can find me. I run a clinic free clinic down in, and we actually do fights. Luchadores. And then we also harvest their organs when they're done. But you can reach me at, I'll give you just this address. It's Ash, ASH, _L as in V as in victorious, at yahoo.com. Well, lose your attention. And if you want, I can give you my 1-800 number, but since I know all these people so well, I'll let you know that I'll waive the first 4 minutes, $4.95 on the special. So that's probably the best way to get.
Oh my gosh, Asher, you're hilarious. Wherever you are, I hope you find the good in your day. If you want to find a luchador or a whorehouse, make sure you contact him. And for many other reasons, because he's such a wonderful, awesome dude. Wherever you are, find the good in your day. Spread it to whomever you may. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Friday. We got a big show for you, and I'll see you then. Bye. Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. I can't stop laughing. There's so much. There's so much I want to dig.
Well, the thing is, you're bringing me back to patriotism. All I am is tangential thought, and I would always circle back.
I knew you were going to, and that's why I was trying to just make sure the circle didn't get too wide because we were time limited.
But well, so all the points they do have valid segues.
I just go right back.
Yeah. I got the fingers, and I was like, oh
I just wanted
man.
to decrease that angle.
You know it. Morning from good daylight. Selling Kyle, coming at you with a smile. So come and stay a while. Good times are the only style. Good day, la la la. Good day, la. Good day, la la. Good day, la. Coming at you with the greatest guests and listeners. His and hers.